this series, we are going to be answering most of your frequently asked questions. We see your comments, we see your DMs when we talk on the phone, we see questions that you guys ask us, and we'll be answering some of them in this series. So I have here with me today my colleague
Bolaji. My name is Bolaji.
Mr. Bolaji is here today to help you guys. He's representing you guys. He's going to be asking me the questions on your behalf. Let's get into it.
So some of the frequently asked questions will be, can the government take my land even if I have a COO?
Can the government take your land if you have a CFO? Yes, the government can take your land. But the government is going to be coming with a deal because you have the highest form of documents, the title that shows you are the legal owner of your land. The highest form is the CFO. So if you have a CFO and the government is coming for your land, they don't just come for it for any reason. It must have a very, very important reason. Most of the time, it must be because of infrastructures, maybe like schools, maybe they are trying to develop something for the community, and that land falls under the zone that they are going to be needing. If you have a CFO, you get a very good compensation for that. But apart from that, on a normal day, nobody from the government can just come and take your land because they feel like they have power. So if you have a CFO based on the Land Use Act, you can still lose your land to the government, but it is going to be for important reasons, and you get compensated handsomely for that. Second question.
What is the difference between CofO, governor's consent, and deed of assignment, and which is the best?
CofO, governor's consent, deed of assignment. Okay, so the thing is, deed of assignment is the agreement you make when you first purchase your land. So the title of the land might be CofO, and it might be governor's consent. But for you to have a governor's consent, the land must initially have a CofO.
Yes.
So they go hand in hand, but they are all different titles. The deed is not a title. It's just a document that binds you as the seller to the buyer. The CFO is the certificate of occupancy document that the owner gets for the land. So if you are buying from somebody that already has an existing CFO title, that is when you get a governor's consent. If governor's consent is a document that shows that we, the government, we have given the owner of this land a CFO. The owner of this land is selling this land to Mr. B now. Because Mr. B is buying it, we cannot be issuing a new CFO to Mr. B. So we issue a governor's consent that we are aware that Mr. A that owns this CFO before has now sold his land to Mr. B. So this is a governor's consent for it. So that is how they work.
Right. Question 3. How do I verify land documents without hiring a lawyer?
Without hiring a lawyer, a professional, a lawyer, it's very possible. But you go cry and you go waka. But it's very possible. Depending on who you are. If you want to become an agent, like me, if you want to become a professional, then you have to go through the process. But as an individual, if you want to go through the process, it is not something hard. First of all, you have to go and verify the land. You make sure the land you are about to buy, you are confirming the owner, you are seeing the recital on the document, you are seeing the past receipts. You have to trace the history of the land. You have to ask questions and all that. Maybe visit the Bale or the king or whatever. You have to do that first. Then, if the land has a survey, good for you. You have to get a registered surveyor. Even if you are getting a professional, the only difference is we already know the processes and everything. We know how to go through it. But as for you, if you want to do it yourself, when you do all the investigations you have to do first, if it has a survey, you chart your survey. You give a registered surveyor, they chart it, they see if it is a free land, if it's free from government acquisition and all that. Then you go to the land registry. If the land has a CFO, you can use the CFO number or the survey plan number to check for it in the land registry. You do that. So the results you get from those due diligence you are doing will make you know if the land is genuine or not. So it's not really a process you cannot go through yourself, but it is a process that might stress you. So if you want to do it yourself, you need plugs, hit us up. If you want us to do that for you, we can also do it for you.
Question number 4. Can I buy land and pay in installments? What happens if I stop paying?
Can I buy land and pay in installments? What happens if I stop paying? Although it's not 2 portions of rice for you if you stop paying. It depends on the agreement you have with the realtor. If you are buying land on installments, you already know how long the installmental plan is going to take. So I feel like that covers you already. If you are paying for 6 months, if the agreement is to pay for 6 months, if it's to pay for a year, that 6 months or 1 year covers you already. It now depends on how you have flawed the agreement. and the kind of agreement, the terms and conditions that is in the agreement you have done with the realtor. So you can actually get land on installment. There are lots of land deals that comes with installment plans. So you can do that. You can actually lock in and do that. But if you are flawed, maybe you not buy from us, you are not asking me that you have not paid. Call a big deed of assignment here. The deed that you signed, check the terms and conditions there. Call your lawyer, let him know that you have not been paying or you are not going to be able to pay, and let him see the penalty for that. Or call the company and let them know. So I think that's the best answer for that.
Question number 5.
Mhm.
What is ratification and why is it expensive?
What is ratification and why is it expensive? I'm sure a lot of people might have heard the word ratify. After ratify, we want to ratify our land, we want to pay for ratification. It is normal. It happens when an already acquired government land has now been returned or has been excised. That way, you have to ratify the land. You have to go through the process of ratification. For example, I have a real life example. So I have a land on the boundary of Lagos and Ogun State. And that land now, last year December, towards December, because I found out December, last year December, I found out that the land is now under Ogun State government acquired lands. The government acquired 1.5 kilometer left and right from the toll gates down to Ijebu toll gate. I have a land there. I have a survey of that land and I've been the rightful owner of that land. Everybody knows I own this land. Now that land is already under government acquisition now. Right now, I have no right on the land because the government has acquired it. In fact, they have committed the land. But the good thing about it is already a settlement where the land falls. People already live there. And most times, when governments acquire lands and they want to use them for infrastructures, if they are not being able to use all the land and they have to like let go of some, most times they over acquire. But when they are letting go of some, they check the regions where people are already residing and leave that part. So that's why it's another strategy when you want to invest in land in areas that are still remote. Try to invest where there is already settlement. That way, you know that you are already in the middle of where people are living. If anything is going to happen here and government even wants to show mercy, we are definitely going to be the first set of people to get advantage of this. So I'm very sure that that land, at the end of the day, the government will tell us to come and pay for ratification. And why it is expensive is because you might have to pay for the value of the land back to the government. And there are a lot of agencies that are going to be involved during the process. They have to involve the Surveyor General Office, they have to involve the land registry, they have to involve the ministry, that they are going to have to ratify some people's land. So it's going to be expensive. Don't expect it not to be expensive. And the good thing about it is, if you are able to ratify your land, it gives it more value. Because if anybody is going to buy there, when they chart it, they might say that the land is under acquisition, already committed. But with your ratification document, it's going to show that the government has excised your own part for you, and they have given you your document that this portion belongs to you. So it gives it more value. That's why I tell people, if you have land somewhere and the government has acquired it and they are telling you to pay ratification, lucky you. It's more like you having a good solid document showing that you own the land, because the ratification receipts and everything is going to be in your name. So imagine having a land that has a survey, that has a deed in your name, and you have a ratification document too. You are good to go.
Question number 6. I live abroad. Can I safely buy land in Nigeria remotely?
I live abroad.
Yes.
Can I safely buy land in Nigeria remotely? Yes, you can. You can buy land remotely. You can always do that, but you have to make sure you have a lawyer. Even if people want to trust me, most times, every time, I always tell them, do you have a lawyer? Do you want to involve your lawyer? If you feel like you want to trust me fully, I still always tell you, come and take possession of your land. Come and know where your land is. This is because in business, anything happens anytime. I can be alive today and not be tomorrow. So you don't have to risk things, most especially your investment. I tell people, most times people invest. The problem is, most people invest when they can afford it, not when they really want to do it. And when you invest when you can afford it, you don't take it serious. You don't cherish it. It doesn't look like something that has worth. Okay. Till you now hear people talking about it, yes, or till you need it, that's when you run back to it. So when you feel like you can afford it, why don't you do it well? Do it well in the sense that when you buy your land, do the proper documentation, pay the professionals you are supposed to pay, take possession, full possession. if necessary. Fence your land fully, gate it, check on it time to time. That way, it will give you full peace of mind that you have invested, and you'll be happy to even see your investments appreciate over time with good value because you have done everything you're supposed to do to secure it. So buying land remotely is not bad. You just have to know who to
Right.
trust, and you have to really, really discuss with who you want to invest with. Let them understand why you are investing, what you want to invest, and have the conversation with them. Let them convince you enough. There's a way they let you understand what you are trying to invest in, that you know that, okay, my intuition is working well with this. But most importantly, when you are buying a property, inform someone, check your property, do your documentations right, and take your possession for everybody's peace of mind.
So question number 7. Can I buy land and pay installments? What happens if I stop paying? This is under land retailing.
Land retailing. Can I buy land and pay installments? What will happen if I stop paying? I've seen a lot of disputes like this, because at the end of the day, it is going to become disputes and it has to go to court sometimes, depending on the agreement you're having. This is what some estates do. They might budget for 5 acres. They might tell the family or the community, we need 5 acres of this land. These 5 acres, we can only afford to pay for 2 acres now. But as we develop our estate and as we sell, we are going to pay you up your balance, and they sign an agreement. In the process, some estates are lucky, they might sell off, while some, they might not be able to sell. But in the case of you bridging your installmental plan agreement or your payment agreement for land retailing, it ends in few ways. Common ways. They'll check how much you have paid. Maybe what you have paid is for 2 acres, and over the time you have not been able to pay for the remaining 3 acres. Okay, sir, take your 2 acres, let us hold on to our 3 acres. This might be maybe after a year or 2 years, depending on how long it is in the plan. Two, some people might put it in the agreement that they will refund you and they get their land back because you are ordering for like excess already. So they might put you on a clause that will shake your leg too. So depending on how it is, and sometimes it might be new agreements. Sometimes it might be new agreements. That's why, and when new agreements happen, it is if the estate has been able to sell out the land. That means they already have people allocated to the land, but they have not been able to reach their agreements with the people they bought from, which is the family or the community. So that's time they can like do a new agreement. Okay, we are going to have a new agreement. Maybe we'll add to the money, we'll pay you like this. But if the family is not going to agree to that, that is when reallocation happens. That's when you see that you have been able to buy in one estate, but the estate is telling you they have an issue. Some of you have to move to another estate, they will allocate you there. So that was how it happened. Installmental plans are good, but you have to stick to it, and you have to really, really be financially tight when you are doing it. Thank you.
Question number 8. What happens to your land after you die? Can your,
Can what? Can what?
can your family inherit it?
Can your family inherit it? What happens to your land after you die? I love the question because you asked, if you allow them inherit it, you guys go and buy land in the midnight. that you not document it. You buy land, you not hold lawyer, you not hold any professional, you not take your mom, you not take your dad, you don't have anybody you trust in your family, you have rigid heart. If you die, now who you lock in with go lock you out. I promise you, bro. Who you lock in with go lock you out. So if you want people to inherit your property, you do it well, you do it nice, you get your documentation done, you fill up your next of kin details, you have a witness, you know, just make sure that you are making it transparent to the extent where it can get to your next of kin, so that when you die, because you might even die and you not do it well, and it is even that family that you want them to inherit it, that they'll still eventually have to kill multiple people for them to get the land, because you have to let them know that this property is going to this person if anything happens to me. Real estate is all about long life. I tell my investors, I wish you long life, I wish you long life, because we all love ROI, and you cannot see ROI if you don't live long. So, but if you still want to balance it, document it right. Thank you.
Question number 9. Asking
Number
as an
9.
agent. I see that you sell lands in Epe,
Yeah,
and
we
most
do.
of the estates I'm selling
Okay.
for in Epe
Okay.
mostly have issues. How have you been able to deal with this?
Yes, we sell Ekpe. Most of the estates I've been selling for
Yes.
have issues.
Yes, in
How have
Epe.
I been able to do with that?
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yes.
Okay. In Ekpe, I feel like I know that, not like I feel say, I know that the issues most of all these estates are having, because it is not general. It is not everybody that is facing this Ekpe
Same issue.
problem. The first thing you have to know is there's an embargo in Ekpe right now. You cannot get a certificate for your survey. They call it red copy before, but it's a certificate now. You get a certificate after you have gotten the blue registered copy. So for now, in Ekpe, you cannot get your certificate, which limits you to the type of documentations you can do.
Okay.
Mhm.
So talking about the certificate,
Behind the camera. Okay.
so this service certificate you're talking about,
Mhm.
is it the same as the certificate of occupancy?
Uh-uh. You you want collect, you want do graduation, you want fly class.
Let everything once.
Survey certificate is different from CFO. CFO is certificate of occupancy. Your
Okay.
survey certificate is what you get after your blue copy has been lodged. When you want to survey a land and you call your registered surveyor comes to site with his GPS, he picks your coordinates, he charts your land. When he charts your land, he's like, okay, this land is free. You do your survey. When he does your survey, when they lodge your survey in, you get a survey plan number. When you get that plan number, your survey will be printed, it will be stamped, you'll get a hard copy. After that hard copy, the registered surveyor that has gone to registered survey in the surveyor general office is going to lodge the information to their system. When the system has fully accepted that lodgement, then you get your certificate, which was previously red copy. So previously, you'll be getting another copy of that paper you got in blue, but you'll be getting it in a red paper. But now, instead of getting that red paper, you'll be getting a certificate that also holds all the details that is on that survey.
So what's now the essence of the embargo? Since people can do survey.
Okay. The embargo is you cannot collect your certificate yet. And the reason why is the government cannot just place embargo on a particular area or a local government or a district for no reason. The reason why Ekpe was placed under that embargo was because one, Ekpe is another eye opener, is another fast rising mega city. I'm calling it the mega city because everything going on around Ekpe now is big. The industries are big, residences big, even estates they are big. So everything going on around Ekpe now, they are like major projects. We have Alaro City, Dangote Refinery, international airports, places like Isimi Lagos, Food Hub, and all that going on around Ekpe. Ekpe is somewhere that needs a proper layout. Unlike the island that has been having a lot of issues of layouts, they have to collapse here, they have to tell you people this place. They don't want those things to repeat themselves now. So places like Ekpe that is like a new town development, those places are under NCDA. So I think the reason why this old is still there because I asked my friends that are in the Surveyor General office, they also don't know when it will be lifted. So the reason why I think this is taking time is because they are trying to make sure they are going to finalize the map. They are going to be sure of the places they want to commit, the places they want to acquire, the places they want to excise, the places they need to put for industry, agriculture, residential. They want everything to be done. So there will be a map that doesn't really need a major update. And if there's going to be an update, it will not affect people that are already investing in the real estate of that town. So that is what is going on in Ekpe right now.
So that means that those people that are buying land in Nigeria,
Mhm.
they are at risk. It's a very risky investment.
It is risky if you are not doing your due diligence.
The blue copy is it valid?
The blue copy is valid.
That's what they are getting.
Yes, because the reason why your blue copy is valid is with or without a red copy or a certificate, anybody can still do the survey of any land. So if I have this land and I have the survey in my name, even if I've done this survey before 2023 that Ekpe was placed on hold and I have my certificate and everything, another person can wake up today and go and do the survey of that same land. 10 people can have survey for one land. So that's why I tell people survey doesn't really secure your land. The only thing survey does is it shows the coordinates, it shows the name, the address, it shows the basic details of that land that any registered surveyor can map out your land with or without you. They can look for your land with or without you. And the reason why the survey is also important is if you want to process other documentations, like you want to process like a CFO, the government is not going to come to that land to inspect it. They expect you to already have a survey. When they get your survey, they already have a map. They already know if that place is water, if that place is land, if that place is hill, if that place is slope, if that place is swamp. They already know the condition on the map. They just want to get your survey, map that survey on the map and see that, okay, this is what is going on with this particular land. So the survey is a document that just makes your land easy to track if you are selling or if you are doing any documentation. It's going to be easy for anybody working on that land. Instead of them moving elter-skelter, going to the land to and fro, they just have the survey document. Take to any office, have my survey, they'll chat it. They'll see what they want to see there. So if they chat your survey, if you have a survey and you have a certificate, and another person has a survey and a certificate, but has a CofO or government allocation, and the person is already on the map, your survey will just make you check. It doesn't mean that you own that land. You definitely see that person's name on the land. So the more you strengthen your documentation, the higher the value of your land, because the more peace of mind it gives you, and even anybody that wants to invest with you. That's how it works.
So that means investing in Ekpe now is a rush.
Investing in Ekpe now is a rush.
Yes.
In the sense that
When they lift the embargo.
when they lift the embargo, lands will become more valuable.
I'm talking about those people that are already invested.
Yes.
For the
Embargo, they are on a waiting list. If you have done a survey,
but the survey doesn't tell that this land belongs to this person.
that's just it. The survey will just the survey will just show the land that, okay, this is the coordinate of this land and this is where this land is. So three of us can have the same land and have the same survey, and that's why you see some estates, when they sell land to you, they'll sell that same land to 500 other people and be doing the same and be changing the same they'll be printing the same survey but changing the name on the survey. So if you check the survey plan number, you definitely see that survey, that it exists.
So are we even safe from buying government acquisition? Or let me just ask you this. Is it possible for government to acquire a land without it showing on the survey at the survey general office that this land has been acquired by the government?
The thing is, that's why if you are getting a professional, get the right ones. If you are getting a registered surveyor to survey your land, the first thing the surveyor is supposed to do after payment, go to site, pick the coordinates and chart it. The first information the surveyor is supposed to give you is the land is free or the land is acquired. So if the land is free, you proceed.
What if it's just a decision that has not been made by the government?
That is where I became a scapegoat last year. I bought a land before government acquired it. I did my survey. I have the survey of that land. I fenced that land. The land belongs to me. There's a survey showing that the land belongs to me. I have all the documentation showing that the land belongs to me. I own it legally. Now, the government has acquired it. They have committed that land. My only hope there is ratification. That's my only hope there. And there is no way the government will be able to know that that land belongs to me with just my survey. The layout of the government that they use to verify properties, the things that show mostly on that layout is excision, gazette, CofO, government allocation. So your deed of assignment, your deed of agreement, even if it's in the land registry, it doesn't show on the map. Your registered survey with your red copy, your rainbow copy, your any copy, your certificate, it doesn't show on the map. That is why these documents can easily be manipulated. But the first person to process a valid survey document for CofO and gets that CofO, that land belongs to the person. So if three of us own this land and we have survey, thinking that our survey is giving us rest of mind, and I go ahead to do my CofO, we don't know each other. At the end of the day, if that land becomes an issue and we have to fight over it, I'll win you guys at the court. Even if you bought it first, you bought it second, and I bought it third. Because I have a bigger title than a survey. If we have just survey, three of us, it will be another kind of dispute in court. But there are some documents that you cannot fight.
Was it possible for three people to have a CFO of that land?
It's possible for three people to have a CFO.
That land.
If you are buying joints. If you are doing
separate people, like
okay, separate people. No. It's not possible.
So the
one
CFO
land,
gives...
one CFO. If you are processing for CFO, if they chart it, the main state layout is going to be showing that this land belongs to this person already.
Okay.
Because a properly done CFO will be fully registered into the system.
So let me ask a question. Yeah, there is. an estate
Mhm.
and I bought some piece of land inside that estate, but the estate has the government allocation and
Okay.
the CofO.
Okay.
Is it possible for the estate to sell that same land that I bought to another person?
That you bought from the estate
Yes.
to another person. It's very possible. Because at the end of the day, for estates, I say the developer is the originator. He makes everybody dance to his tune, regardless. So it's for him to want to be transparent or not. So if you are buying a land in an estate, first of all, what are you looking at? The title of the estate. Is the estate layout approved by the government? One box to tick. What title does the estate have? Does it have only survey? Have they done their CFO? Is it government allocation? Is it whatever? You know what they have. That is going to determine the value of the estate too. Two. Three, you now decide, am I buying here or not? I might go to an estate that has only survey, and with my due diligence, I want to buy there. Then I'm going to another estate that has CFO and I'll not even buy there. It doesn't mean that the CFO is not better than the survey, document wise, but I might be more interested in the survey land than the CFO land. So in the case of you buying a land inside an estate that already have a CFO, a government allocation, and the estate sells to another person, yes, because it's the estate that has power to allocate. So they can manipulate and sell to other people
And do mago.
and do mago. So if you buy land from estates with government allocation, the estates will do your own survey for you, showing you your own portion inside that their own estate that you already have. What are the things you are doing to secure your land? Even if it is inside an estate, have you fenced it? That's why if you want to invest in estates, look at the size of the estate. What is the land mass? What's the tendency or probability that this place is going to develop well over time? So those are the things you have to know. Then the developers, are they people you can trust? Have you done your own due diligence well? So that's how it is. But regardless of whatever, an estate can always, sometimes it might not even be intentional. Some things might happen that they'll just have to reallocate you for your own good. Sometimes maybe there are some kind of disputes in some portions and they don't want you to be involved. They'll just give you somewhere clean. But the estate has power over their estate. They do the allocation, most especially when they are not yet developed and they just want to sell. You buy the whole portion, you don't know if you are going to be close to the gatehouse or you are going to be far end of the estate. But they tell you this is the estate.
So if I'm to buy an estate land,
Mhm.
can I do a CFO of it?
Can you do a CFO
Yes.
of the estate land? Yes, you can. If the estate doesn't have an original CFO, like if they don't have like an existing CFO.
What if they have? That means I will put government.
But most times, if you are buying from a trusted developer, they have a CFO document holding their property. All you have to do is when your lawyer is drafting your agreement, you do your agreement and let the agreement show that your plot falls under the CFO document of so person in so name with certificate of occupancy number, the registration number of the CFO file, the file number, you put it. Then your own personal survey, you put the details, you put everything, you attach those documents together. That strengthens your land too.
But is that valid? Since
It's
you said,
valid.
but you said the survey can be done by
You can do your own
more than
CFO. If I have CFO for, okay, you mean if I have CFO for like 1 acre and I sell a plot for you in that 1 acre, you can do your own CFO too. But I tell people, if you have if you have onions in a golden basket already, you don't have to now say because this onion is for you, you want to put it in a smaller golden plate and put it inside the golden basket. It's just you're just wasting your good. So you already have your onions in a golden basket. Just make sure that your documentation is tight. Because processing CFO is extra money. Good, some investors they just want to lock it down fully, do their thing so that they will have full peace of mind. Very fine. You don't discourage people when they want to do things right. But when it comes to land investment, there are other ways you can do it and you'll be doing it right and you will not still fall a victim of anything. So if you are buying a land from a CFO estate or a government allocated estate, you are buying there because you feel like they already have enough backing for themselves. So the best thing you can do for yourself in that kind of situation is you fence your land well and you do your documentation right, collect all your proper receipts and you do your survey.
So let's say I have the land in an estate.
Okay.
And I'm not interested in the land.
Okay.
I want to sell to you.
Okay.
How do I transfer the land?
If you want to sell the land to me, you have a
All
land.
I have is just survey.
The survey.
Yes.
And the thing is, number one, if you have the survey, that means you are already allocated. With or without the estate, any surveyor can look for that land inside that estate perimeter. But because it is an estate, they already have a body, they already have an office, they already have people that handle these things for them. The thing we do is we call the estate. I have a land with you, I want to sell it. The estate will give us time, we go there, they give us their surveyor, take us to the land, then by that time, you can now say you want to sell.
So what you are saying now is survey is a valid document in real estate.
Survey is a valid document in real estate, but it's not a title. It is valid because it makes charting easy. Let me just put it, because at the end of the day, people want to, if people are still contemplating how useful you are, some people just want to make you rag. Like, let us make it useless. But let me just hit the nail on the head. Survey makes charting easy. Because survey does not even protect your land still. But it's a good evidence to show ownership. Because the date you have done your survey, it will show. When I had issue with one land at the back here, the land, I did the survey. Lucky me, I did it before Epe was on hold. I have a certificate for the land. I have my survey for the land. But the land was not fenced. It was encroached. When it was encroached, I had to still fence the land just to make sure that it is fully secured, because I know that the survey is not strong enough to move bricks if they are already molded on that land. You get it? So I have to take my time, ASAP, fence the land, 3 coaches round. I did that. Then I had my survey, I had my deed, and I had my land fenced. The person that came, the person that encroached the land bought just last year. So the deed with you is showing that you just bought that land last year. Me, I have my deed showing that I bought this land 4 years, 5 years ago. I have a survey with certificate showing I've registered this land 4 years, 5 years ago. And I also have my little fence in my space. How do you think you can win me?
What if the person has done the CFO of that land?
Then I cannot win. That CFO is going to overwrite everything I have. But the only chance I can win, because the court is always fair and they work in black and white. If the CFO is recent and I already have a survey showing that, that is why most times survey will still save you, because that survey is already showing the map. It's showing that exact land, that this person has registered this land since 2020. This survey is showing that is this coordinate and it is this land. This person has deed and has bought from the rightful owner. This other person might have bought from the rightful owner. It might be the rightful owner reselling. That way, the court will have to arrest the person that sold one property to multiple people. The issue is one person, which is the new owner, now has a CFO, but the old owner doesn't have a CFO. You might actually win the case with just your survey in court. If you don't win the case, you get compensated. They might tell the new owner to buy it from you. They might tell the seller to reallocate a new spot for you that will be worth that amount. So depending on how they judge it. But at the end of the day, in court, your black and white will save you. That's why even if you are doing only your deed after purchase, do it well. Make sure you get all the signatures you are supposed to get all the receipts you are supposed to get, so that when there's a dispute and you have to tender your documents will be valid with witnesses. There are some people that I do deals with, they will even take pictures. When you're signing, they take pictures. When you're shaking, when you're passing the document, they take pictures, because they know that in the future you can say anything. They'll just show you. Now you be this. I will not be the shine things when I credit you. So those things actually help. Things that are visible will help you. It's not like one pay or baba mi sope or that kind of thing. So you don't have to dance with it. If you have your documentations done right and you are doing it step by step and you are doing it right, you will get it. Now don't reason. So all of you here and all of you there, you are thanking me now. I don't want that thanks later. And you know what to do. Click the link in the bio. Peace.
And if they have more questions.
Yeah. And if you have more questions to ask us, you can drop them in our comments, you can drop them in our DMs, you can place a call, depending on who you want to talk to. If you want to talk to me, you book a consultation. Depending on who you want to talk to, drop it in the comment section, drop it in the DM. We'll answer it one of these days. For sure.